Welcome to Retro Ranger. Woo!
Hey, it's Jeff, and I am following up to my previous unboxing of the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I've been playing around with it and found settings that I like for doing some of my YouTube videos and then some that I wish to change. Today, I thought I'd walk you through a little bit about what I'm changing. The good news is you really don't need to change everything. In fact, quite a few of the default settings are exactly where I would want them. In this video, I'll show you changing the settings, what ones I'm going to leave the same. I'm actually recording right now with the Osmo 3 on the front facing. Screen record on that will do on the app. Sometimes I have to turn off the Osmo to make some of the changes. I got two mics on. One's going to my phone for when I have the Osmo off, and one's going to the Osmo. All right, first off, settings I'm leaving alone. Color. I'm leaving it as the default color profile, which is normal. Pocket 3 does provide D-Log M, for people who really want to do maximum flexibility of color grading, things like that. I don't have that strong of a need right at the moment. I'm leaving that as is. The next one is exposure on auto, and I'm going to leave that also. Let's see if we can find where some of these are in here. It's not allowing me to change that right now. Let's do this. I'm going to turn off, and let's go into settings on the phone. And now we can see that we've got our advanced settings. I just flipped on Pro. I could see some additional settings that we have. Let's see what else I can. Let's flip back over. Color, we mentioned. I've got that as normal. Exposure is, let's see if I can find it again. White balance. Let's go back out. Okay, it's grayed out right at the moment. That's up here at the top of the app. Exposure is currently grayed out. We'll stop recording, pause, and then we'll go through some of that. Exposure I'm going to leave as auto. Gimbal mode is follow. Do a little bit of movement around. It will follow me. So that's really sweet and very cool. I'm going to leave that on. You've got to turn that on every time. Landscape orientation is what I'm going to leave unless I'm going to do a short, and then I will flip it to vertical. That's all of the ones I'm going to leave the same. Let's look at some of the other settings that I want to change. I'm going to stop recording, and we're just going to look at the app for now. First thing that I like changing is the white balance on mine. It's set for auto. I don't like that. As things change while I'm recording, it flips around and it's not so cool. The number that you may want to change to is different than maybe what I'm going with. I'm going to try for right now, change it to custom, and then I'm going to try 5200. I've got most of my other cameras set to that same Kelvin, so that things will, if I'm switching between cameras, whether I'm using my iPhone, I'm using my Sony, or I'm using DJI or whatever, I'm trying to set the same Kelvin for all of them. Let's see, active track. I think we already talked about that, where it physically follows me. I'm going to leave that. What else? Expose. Let's see, I'm looking at my settings that I wrote on here. 5200. Exposure compensation, I'm going to leave that on as auto. And let's see, white balance. Oh yeah, that's under over here. Let me get out of this. It's over here, and this is where I've got my exposure compensation set to auto. I'm going to leave that alone as well. Next, resolution frames. So for what I am doing right now, let's flip over at the top. They've got the resolution bit. It's defaulted at 4K. I think I'm going to leave mine at 4K, but the frames per second, I'm going to leave mine at 30 frames per second right now. I may need to adjust that, especially if I'm doing some CRTs and other things. I may need to adjust, but overall, unless I need to really slow something down, B-roll that I want to do, a cool thing, I may bump it up to 60, but otherwise I'm going to leave it as 30. Let's look at focus mode. Video compensation, I'm leaving all of that alone. All right, I was being a little thick and I forgot, let me show you what I did. when you go into settings, the dots, at the top there's three different modes. You've got the little square. On the far right is where your exposure and things like that are. You will see on here that we turned on the Pro settings so that we can see some of the additional information. We've got our focus mode, set it continuous. White balance, we went to custom. Focus mode, went continuous on that. Okay, so we changed the frames per second. Continuous focus mode, continuous autofocus. Then I want to adjust some of the last couple of settings. The last ones I want to change have to be done on the camera. Okay, we are going to try it like this. This isn't going to be great. I'm not in my normal studio. I don't have some of my good equipment with me, but there's 3 settings that need to be changed that I recommend changing on here. First off, I'm in Pro mode up here. I've clicked on that, enabled the Pro modes. Now I'm going to go to some of the image adjustments. I'm going to click on Custom. For both of these, I want to drop down one. I want -1 on sharpness and -1 on the noise reduction. Alright, so I've got those. Then the next setting that I want to make is actually in settings. I swipe down, going in here to settings, and I'm going to scroll down till I find anti-flicker. For anti-flicker, I want to go to 60 Hertz, and this will help with some of my CRT videos if I'm trying to do some recording and I don't want all the bands in it and things like that. I'm back. I'm going to put all these in a nice list here that you can pause the screen and then make your own adjustments. These are what I'm setting to and recommending. Doesn't mean this is going to be perfect for you, but take a look. If you're doing any kind of YouTube stuff or something similar, these are good ones to kind of get defaulted to and work from. Hope you learned something. As I always say, you don't have to live it to learn it. Hopefully this gives you a jump start, and woo, we're out of here. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.